Stanek proudly present the 1991 Stanek Mountain Trial, the 6th event of the South African National Rally Championships. Bloemfontein, the starting venue for this year's event. The teams arrive with mixed fortunes and a championship log that is wide open. Toyota's Enzo Kuhn and Johan Silung replaced Serge Damso and Vito Bonafide at the top of the log, after Serge failed to finish his second event in a row. Only 6 points separate the second place de Waal and Hodgson and the 7th place team of Van der Walt and Van der Linde. The championship has never been so wide open. The Manufacturers' Championship remains a two-horse race with Toyota and Volkswagen ahead of the field. The lower order, often private entries, scoring valuable points for the factories. Damso, now desperate for a turn of luck, faces an early blow when navigator Bonafide took ill. Peter Cuffley moved from Gibbon to join Serge, while Richard Leek replaced Cuffley in the second Class A Toyota. At the Universitas Hospital in Bloemfontein, Vito, minus his appendix, reflects on his mishap.
No, I just wish him the best of luck, and I sincerely hope he wins. Because he still has a chance to win the championship, and last night I said to him, irrespective of whether I feel right or not, I think it's best I don't go there. Because otherwise, if I get sick, then he loses out. So I sincerely hope he does very, very well.
Drawn and seeded first, Serge will lead the 39-strong field into the 1991 Stanek Mountain Trial. 3 stages around Bloemfontein give the spectators a feast of action before long open sections transport the competitors to stages 4, 5 in Smithfield and 6 in Rouville. After an overnight break in Allowell North, the Stanek Mountain Trial begins in earnest. Rallying on the lower Drakensberg district roads, the conditions vary between fast and open to tight passes with frightening drops. Maitland Street in downtown Bloemfontein becomes a carnival as the competitors await the midday start. For some, the pomp and ceremony is lost against the seriousness of the task ahead. Well-known faces become targets for young fans and their autograph books. At just a few minutes before 12 o'clock, the drum majorettes form a guard of honor for the cars as they leave the official Midtown start. As the clock strikes 12, Serge and Peter make the 1991 Stanek Mountain Trial official. For just a moment, Maitland Street comes to a halt as the roar of Sarel's Ford Laser attracts the attention of the lunchtime pedestrians. Every driver and navigator combination communicate in codes, which gets the information to the driver in time for the split-second reactions needed at these excessive speeds. As the Toyota blasts into stage 1, the team is only too well aware that they will need time to settle down. Sarel van der Merwe and Frans Boshoff have partnered each other for more years than either would like to admit, and are well prepared to take advantage of Serge's handicap. Each competitor must complete 2 laps of this laid-out autocross circuit, and Serge must contend with Sarel's dust as they complete their second lap. The Ford battles in the tight sandy bends on stage 1. The gear ratio is more suited to the fast open stages on day 2, still 6 stages away. Nick de Waal and Guy Hodgson in their centre with number 3 on the door remain an unknown entity, having led many events but never winning one. The factory-entered Class A Golf, driven by Johan Evertser and Steve Harding, have yet to finish an event since launching the car at the Castrol Rally in May. Potentially the car's a winner, as is the team, but gearbox and bad luck have sidelined the Golf and its crew continuously. Hannes Robler and Piet Swanepoel in the other Nissan factory-entered Sentra are defending their 1990 win. The pace is fast and furious from the start. Johan Evertser overdoes it slightly, his effort sending spectators running for cover. With the resignation of Johnny Harbig and Douglas Judd from the Nissan team, the factory's entry is down to 2 cars. Hannes and Piet have the experience and consistency, while Nick de Waal appears to excel in speed. A Nissan on the winner's ramp would come as no surprise. Having scored a 1st and 4th on the first 2 events of the season, Glenn Gibbons has failed to finish any events since. Driving the 2nd Toyota in Class A, Glenn remains as backup to Serge and the team. Championship leaders and hot contenders in Class C, Enzo Kuhn and Johan Seelung blast their front-wheel drive conquest into Stage 1. At Stage 3, Serge arrives at the start out of sequence, having had to take time to service the conquest. Stage 3 is a fast section run on the disused Hamilton shooting range south of Bloemfontein. Now second on the road behind Sarel, Serge Damso and Peter Cuffley are off the pace being set by the Class A cars. Hannes Grobler and Piet Swanepoel posted the fastest times on both Stage 1 and 2 with times of 4 minutes 55 seconds and 2 minutes 16 seconds respectively. Through the flying finish and up to the stop control, the pressure of the Class A competition is starting to show on the face of Serge Damso. Nick de Waal and Guy Hodgson in full cry on the dusty section of the shooting range. Navigator Martin Botha, the current national champion, literally gets to eat Guy Hodgson's dust. Johan Evertse and Steve Harding at work in the golf and caught in the process of setting the fastest time of 2 minutes and 14 seconds. Cassie Coetzee and Wiley Harrington taking an early lead in a very competitive Class B field. Just a few kilometers into Stage 4, Serge's conquest lost power with a blown piston, Serge having to bow to his run of bad luck. The news of Serge's retirement soon reaches the other crews. Sarah van der Merwe and Frans Boshoff no exception. Seen here on Stage 5, Sarah is visibly battling with the tight bends and the Ford's high-ratio gearbox. Hannes Grobler and Piet Swanepoel have posted the fastest times on all but one of the previous 4 stages. 6 seconds behind and chasing hard are teammates de Waal and Hodgson, who share an identical time with Evertse and Harding. Coetzee and Harrington now second in Class B, behind Ralph Chadwick and Mike Constable, who themselves took 7 seconds off Cassie's time on Stage 4. Eric Sanders and Thilo van Westenhagen took the lead in Class C. This was to be short-lived when the team lost 2 minutes on this stage.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
From Smithfield, a long open section, transport the cars to Stage 6, the final stage of the day in Rouville. We join Hannes and Piet in their Nissan Sentra as they power their way around the showground section of the stage. Hannes is forced to tap off as he catches his own dust on the oval. From the oval, the stage extends out into the town itself. Rouville, a quaint and normally quiet town, is suddenly filled with the roar and dust of high-powered rally cars. Chasing the Class B struggle from behind are Nuno de Cunha and Paul Rouliard in their Nissan Skyline. The team lie 5th in their class. Privately entered, but up there with the best of them, Leon Botha and Francois Jordan, now leading Class C in their Golf. The Natal entry of Chadwick and Constable, who took the Class B lead on Stage 4, relinquish it back to Coetzee and Harrington here on Stage 6, when gearbox problems leave their Golf stuck in 4th. After their disastrous time set in Stage 5, Sanders and van Westenhagen are struck a further blow here on Stage 6, when distributor problems slow their conquest with an audible misfire. After slow starts on Stages 1 and 2, the Class B Uno Turbo, driven by Paolo Piazza Musso, has slowly worked its way back onto the pace. Paolo and navigator Neil Watt are fourth in Class B. Skalk and Sue Berger going well in their privately entered Class C Toyota Conquest. They currently lie third in that class. In all, 3 husband and wife teams have entered the Stanek Mountain Trial. Here, Ben and Isabel van der Westhuizen power their Conquest through stage 6. They lie second in Class C. In Class D, Chart van der Walt and Jaco van der Linde lead Terry Brand and Mike Gillum by 1 second. So, with 6 stages behind them, the competitors cross the Orange River to the overnight break in Allowell North. Only 23 seconds separate the first 4 cars. Hannes Grobler and Piet Swanepoel lead the event. Evertser and Harding hold a creditable second place. While Coetzee and Harrington lead Class B, Jurgen Snell and Gillian Tarleton are right on the pace. Ben and Isabel van der Westhuizen move into the Class C lead. A cold early morning start sees Hannes Grobler and Piet Swanepoel enter the first stage of the day, a short stage in Allowell North. The Nissan team, obviously very aware of the competition breathing down their necks, waste no time in getting down to business. Hannes is caught by a tricky corner in the stage, and the back end of the Sentra is thrown into the air. Second place Johan Evertser and Steve Harding take to the starting blocks in the VW Golf Synchro. Johan gets caught trying too hard on the same corner and in the process loses valuable time on the score sheet. The team finished the stage a good 12 seconds off Nick de Vaal's winning time. With the dust hanging heavily in the air, we found Hannes Grobler still at the service van, a broken drive shaft having to be replaced.
Wat is daar gebeurd? Het is sideshaft te breken. Maar is nie reg gemaak.
Evertser and Harding move up a position on the road as the cars get their first chance to stretch their legs on stage 8. Having posted the fastest time on stage 7, Nick de Vaal and Guy Hodgson hold nothing back as they smell the blood of the crews ahead of them. Having lost valuable seconds on the last stage, Hannes and Piet are visibly slower on stage 8. Sarel van der Merwe and Frans Boshoff have played the waiting game, never letting the leaders out of their sight. As the stages open up, the Cosworth-powered Ford with its higher ratio gearbox becomes the car to beat. They win the stage by 10 seconds. Still very much in the rally are Glenn Gibbons and Richard Leake, now Toyota's only hope in the 1991 Stanek Mountain Trial. Despite having been brought in at the last moment, Richard is a navigator with immense experience in both rallying and off-road racing. Glenn is visibly quicker and more at home on the fast road conditions. The team are in a good position to attack. The fight in Class B continues unabated. Driving into the sun, Cassie Coetzee falls victim to an off-camber corner and gives away some of his hard-earned lead. Jurgen Snell and Gillian Tarleton on their way to a best Class B time of 16 minutes and 6 seconds. Ralph Chadwick and Mike Constable, their gearbox having been replaced, re-enter the Class B battle. At the end of stage 8, the de Vaal Hodgson Sentra stands bonnet up. The crew are forced to withdraw from the event after oil lost from the motor damages the crankshaft's big end bearings. On stage 9, which passes through Flowkraal, Sarel van der Merwe and Frans Boshoff take the lead. As expected, Sarel and his Ford become the team to beat. Although they appear to be going at full speed, Johan Evertser and Steve Harding have in fact lost 6th gear. Without it, the Golf stands absolutely no chance on the speed sections. A new gearbox is called for, a task the service crew achieve in just 29 minutes. Ralph Chadwick and Mike Constable approaching the end of stage 9. Their 16-valve Golf sounding good and going well. They are now back to second place in Class B behind Kasi Kutsia and Wiley Harrington. Towards the end of stage 9, the sheer speed of the rally starts to take its toll. Jurgen Snell falls victim to a right-hand bend and embankment, which puts pay to the Volkswagen dealer team's entry. Leon Buerter and Franz Jordan end their hopes in a similar way on the same stage, their Golf bent and almost undrivable. Terry Brand and Mike Gillum have taken over the lead in Class D from Chart van der Walt and Jacob van der Linde. Also moving into the picture in Class D are Tony Ball and Tony Babb, Glenn Derman and Charles Rieler. Stage 10 becomes the turning point of the rally for many of the front-running crews. Below us, Hannes Grobler and Piet Swanepoel busy on the stage that drops them 2 places from 2nd to 4th. Glenn Gibbons and Richard Leake clock in 13 seconds faster than Sarel and in the process knock 37 seconds off Hannes and Piet. Their effort instantly promotes them into 2nd place. Evertser and Harding, their gearbox now changed, but still not 100% right. Johan also has braking problems, but manages to hold on to 3rd place overall. Kasi and Wiley lead Class B in the VW dealer team Golf. Their only threat is that of teammates Chadwick and Constable, who have closed the gap down to 19 seconds. Ben and Isabel van der Westhuizen shoot to the front of Class C, as Buerter and Jordan limp to their service crew in their bent Golf. Eric Sanders is still chasing the time lost on the previous day, but can never be discounted. Paolo and Neil, in their Uno, have started to find form, and in the process close up on the 2 dealer team Golfs. We join Kasi Kutsia and Wiley Harrington in stage 11, a very tricky 23-kilometer section of road through the Heuningmeerskloot Valley. Unforgiving concrete causeways and 2 frightening passes complete the picture.
Coming up, 100 meters. Into left. That's it, boys. Go for it. 300 meters, drop, caution. 200 meters, drop.
As Kasi heads for the service and regroup at Barclay East, Chadwick and Constable retire with damaged suspension. At the Barclay East regroup, the Ford has its gearbox dropped to install a new thrust bearing.
Where's the old bearing? Yeah.
Second place Glenn Gibbons checks the Conquest wheel alignment, the prospect of Gilbert's pass no doubt on his mind.
Big Ezo.
Hannes Grobler has fought back, Johan Everts's problems helping along the way. Despite their move up to 3rd spot, the Nissan is still 40 seconds behind Gibbons and they're almost 2 minutes behind Sarel. Things in the Volkswagen camp become hectic as the service crew address the problems on the Golf. While the gearbox is once again removed, the brakes become a priority with the Joubert Pass stage looming. After the Barclay East break, the rally swings back towards Alloway North. The cars remain in their original order, so Hannes and Piet lead the pack through the long and fast stage 12. 3 stages remain, and the worst Hannes can do is to lose their hard-earned 3rd position. Sarel and France still lead, driving to keep their 1st place safe from the charging Gibbons. One mistake could end the event Sarel so badly needs to win for the Ford team. Still pouring on the pressure, Gibbons is, however, unable to match Sarel's efforts on the stage. The Toyota short by 14 seconds on the Ford's winning time. At 44 kilometers, stage 13 is the longest stage of the rally and ends with the notorious Joubert Pass. Having already passed through the farmlands below, we join Glenn and Richard as they climb upwards to the Joubert Pass cutting. As the cars start the downhill slope, the speed Glenn achieves is quite frightening, considering the drop-off to his right. The stage ends at the quaint and historical town of Lady Grey. From there, the rally moves on a long open section to Allowal North and the final stage along the banks of the Orange River. We join Sarwell in France, leaders since the second stage on the second day. Save a disastrous blow of misfortune, the Ford has a full minute between itself and the second place Toyota behind. Ahead of the Ford on the road, Hannes and Piet blast through the trees along the Orange River bank. As the car slows after passing the flying finish, a weary-looking Hannes Robler appears only too pleased to have made it to the end. The crew have done well to finish this demanding event. The growing list of retirements proof of the fact. To prove his point, Hannes scores the fastest time on the stage of 6 minutes and 20 seconds. Into the riverbank section where the drivers enter the most tricky part of the stage. The fans love a winner, and Sarwell in France fit the mold well. By winning this event, their second in a row, Sarah van der Merwe and Frans Boshoff move to the top of the National Rally log. The Class A results stand firm without change from the regroup. Paolo Piazza Musso and Neil Watt take Class B honours after Cassie and Wiley rolled their golf in stage 13. Eric Sanders and Thilo van Westenhagen fought back to replace teammates Ben and Isabel at the top of the Class C results. Privateers Terry Brand and Mike Gillum took Class D honours, ahead of Tony Ball and Tony Babb. Skalk and Sue Berger finished as the highest placed privateers in 8th position overall. This program was proudly brought to you by Stanek, putting finance into the fast lane.